What's up, everybody, and welcome to my NXT review. A lot of things happen on this show tonight, and we kick it off with a big announcement from William Regal. But before he could even get into his announcement, he gave the floor to Keith Lee, and Keith Lee, I guess, was somewhere at his house, which, of course, he's had both of his, NXT and North American championships, and talk about the path and how he became the double champion. From his training with Tim Brooks to him even being called up into NXT and how he rose through the ranks and everything to even get the opportunity to win the North American Championship, which also led him to the NXT Championship. And, everybody likes to call him limitless and whatnot, but he felt like he's not going to be limiting the opportunities to other people. So he says he's going to defend the NXT Championship as much as possible, but he is relinquishing the North American Championship, which they went back to William Regal and said that throughout the weeks now it's going to be a series of triple threat matches, and whoever wins these triple threat matches will be at the next NXT TakeOver on August 22nd, which will be a ladder match. I think it's a six-way, by the way, for the vacant North American Championship. Let me say this. I wish I kind of would have seen a little bit more of double champion Keith Lee with him, with the North American and NXT title. Now, I know there's been argument about how he could at least defend one or the other instead of defending both at the same time, because, listen, there's other companies that do that too when it comes to, defending both championships, like New Japan and whatnot. And I think people thought it was going to happen with NXT, which he did do that last week against Dijak, but now he's relinquishing one and then keeping the other. I would have enjoyed a little bit more of a run with him, but I know they're pushing Keith Lee in this feud with Kross right now. I'm not saying he would have just lost both the belts to him or anybody, depending who he faced, but I would like to bet if he defended against one and defending against the other. Some say he could do what Seth Rollins did when he defended the U.S. title on one point and then he defends the WWE title when he was a double champion and whatnot. Nowadays, with everybody becoming a double champion in wrestling right now, you have to defend both your championships and whatnot. Almost not saying it's like the undisputed title or anything, but you got to defend both the belts. But now, since Keith Lee has given it up, he wanted to basically make opportunities for other people instead of, taking it away from them. So he's still the NXT champion. It's just now we don't have a North American champion from this. So I'm okay with it. Like I said, I would have enjoyed it a little bit more if we could see a little bit more of the double champion instead of for he only had 2 weeks, I believe. So it was something I didn't really expect from this, but maybe it does work for the best. I don't know, but I don't know. It was just kind of interesting in the beginning, but I'm okay with it though, I guess. First match of the night though, Dexter Lumis versus Killian Dane. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be saying shave your back to Killian Dane, but this was not bad. To kick it off. Like I said, two giant guys kicking the shit out of each other. And, it ended up with Lumis hitting a big swanton and then hitting Uranagi, pretty much putting into that Katagatame and whatnot, pretty much passing out Killian Dane. So, very good match in the beginning of the show. I did enjoy it. Not bad at all. Like I said, Lumis, they keep racking up wins for him and whatnot. I don't know where they're going with him right now, but like I said, I'm sure he was going to be the tag partner with Dream, but, we already know why that's not happening right now. But they're doing good with Dexter Lumis and still adding wins. Killian Dane, sometimes I forget he even works here, unless you see him on TV, and most of the time I just see him take an L throughout all his matches, and that's really surprised right here. But not a bad match, though, in general. Next, of course, we got a promo from Dakota Kai talking about coming for the NXT Women's Championship. I know they talked to Roderick Strong in the back with about him going for the title. The North American champion, since he's in a triple threat match tonight, which we'll get to. But right after, we got Breezango versus Everrise. Some say we're calling them Discount Young Bucks. Breezango dressed as the Mountie, if you know that whole thing, Jacques Rougeau and whatnot. The Mountie theme song. Of course, they got to do their stripper entrance, and they're dressed like Mounties. Go against Everrise. It was whatever. Okay, I'll just say that. It was whatever. Breezango got the win. I don't know what you can take from this. They come out dressed in some type of gimmick almost every week. I don't know who they'll be dressed as, but yeah, they're going back to just being comedy mostly comedy if you think about it with their entrances every week. They're not bad, but I think some people want to see Breezango at least do something a little bit more serious than do the comedy routine every week, depending on what they come out dressed as every week. But they were the Mounties this week, and they beat Everrise, so whatever. Shotzi Blackheart went against Aaliyah. Of course, Robert Stone is out there with his, I guess a cast on his leg. Shotzi Blackheart, of course, with her tank and welcome to the ball pit and whatnot. Good match, I will say that. It was a good match, and of course Stone tried to get involved, but Shotzi Blackheart ended up knocking her off the apron and then hitting the senton for the win. But then when Robbie E was on the ground, Shotzi used her tank and then once again ran over his foot and just squashed it and just started yelling and laughing, which, like I said, Robbie E, he gets a lot of TV time. He gets a lot of TV time every week. So, yeah, he gets run over by the tank, but then out of nowhere, Mercedes Martinez shows up and then just knocks the hell out of Shotzi Blackheart, leaving her there. So, looks like they're going somewhere with Mercedes Martinez right now, which we'll get in a little bit later on. But her knocking down Blackheart, I'm like, okay, things get a little bit interesting here with Mercedes Martinez. Let's see where this goes. They didn't get like a promo interview from Swerve, Isaiah Scott, basically talking about how he grew up and whatnot, how he came up, and I guess he danced or he sung Billie Jean back then in high school and whatnot when he was a kid, and talked about he was in a recording studio, always recording songs, and pretty much talked about Gargano and how he took him to the limit and how it sets forward to being a champion. He talked about the whole cruiserweight title because he's faced Santos Escobar before and he's beat him. He wants to say he's untouchable, but Scott said he's the only person that's ever beat him, so he's going to do it again, and it's going to be Swerve's house. So at least hopefully they're going somewhere with Swerve, because trust me, I question the booking with him half the time. The guy takes a lot of L's. But next, as we get in the second hour of the show, I think this is when we got a lot of better matches. Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, and Roderick Strong, triple threat for the shot at the to qualify for the ladder match for this North American Championship at TakeOver. This was great. I like this match. I like this a lot. I gotta say, I didn't know I was gonna enjoy this match this much, and they got some good timing out there too. Went through like 2 commercial breaks, but I enjoyed this match a lot. There was some crazy moves I didn't even expect. Reed, this dude was just jumping out of there like crazy, I gotta say, and whatnot. Especially when they were outside of the ring, I think Strong tried to go for that wheelbarrow thing on Gargano, but they brawled, and then, Reed jumps on them then, which was pretty good. Even Bronson Reed kind of lifting both guys in the air off the top rope. Something like a fallaway slam or whatnot. I did like when, Gargano, he set up in the electric chair, and Strong's going to hit a knee on him, but Gargano reversed into a big poison rana, pretty much taking down Reed. Strong ended up getting Gargano with a knee and whatnot. A big knee on him, and hit him with a super kick then right after. Like I said, Strong ended up getting another big knee on him, and pretty much leaving Reed onto the ground. Strong pretty much hitting him with pretty much several punches. I think he was trying to go for a Tiger Driver, but Gargano ended up hitting the Gargano escape on him. Strong got out of it. Gargano pretty much threw him into the second row for the long dart right after. Roderick Strong was able to get the gut buster on him, or the what was it called? I forgot what they call it, but I know it was a gut buster. But when he got up, Gargano hit him with the big one final beat DDT, and as he tried to crawl to Roderick Strong to pin him, next thing you know, Bronson Reed hit a big splash onto Strong for the win. So Bronson Reed does advance in the tournament now. Well, not tournament, but into the ladder match, which is a big win for Bronson Reed, which looks like they're going somewhere with him. So good for him. I like this match. It was great. I enjoyed it a lot. It wasn't what I was going to expect. I almost thought Reed was going to lose. I kind of was figuring Roderick Strong was going to go over and go into this tournament. But Bronson Reed, they think they're going somewhere with this guy. He wasn't that bad out here. He was good, real good. Some say it was a star-making performance tonight for him. I'm not sure, but I enjoyed what he did out there, and it was a really good match. Really good. So, That was, I would say, one of the big matches out of the night. And next we got Oney Lorcan versus Timothy Thatcher. Just like a few weeks ago at the Great American Bash, I think both of these guys once again had a great match out here. I know a lot of people do not like that MMA style wrestling that they do and whatnot. I think it was, like I said, more submission based, more ground based, like I've said before about their match, but I enjoyed this a lot. Lorcan and Thatcher, I will say, will beat the living shit out of each other if they have to. Lorcan trying to get that arm bar in on him, but Thatcher even trying to put him into like a fish hook to get out of there. Then, like I said, multiple chops and whatnot. Lorcan hit him with a big half suplex. Pretty much trying to focus on Thatcher and his shoulder, but Lorcan was just beating up his arm. Pretty much a lot of chops to the chest then right after. Thatcher ended up crashing him into the corner, but Lorcan hit him with a big wrist lock on him, holding him, which they pretty much fell to the ground, but Thatcher was able to get Lorcan on the ground and was able to pin him. So I guess for like he stole the win right there. Once again, these guys had a really good match, and it does give Lorcan out in a way. It wasn't like just a clean, well, it was a clean win, I should say, but not a decisive win, and it does put Timothy Thatcher in some heat. Give him some heat right there. So Lorcan, I guess, we'll probably see another match from these two in the future or whatnot, but it does protect Lorcan just because of how he was pinned and how he just held on, and that the shoulders hit the ground, but he was able to hold on. Thatcher was able to pin him while he still had him in that whole wrist lock onto the ground. So creative finish, not bad at all. Like I said, this could probably be another match with both of these two in the future, but I do enjoy Thatcher and Lorcan going against each other. I enjoyed it 2 weeks ago, and I enjoyed this match once again. Like I said, these guys will beat the shit out of each other from here. They tried to interview Robbie Eaton and Aaliyah as they were checking his leg. Next thing you know, Mercedes Martinez walked up to Stone and told him, listen, I need somebody to handle all the big matches, the contracts, paperwork, all that stuff. All right, you handle that, and I just handle kicking ass in the ring. All right, and listen, you don't do this, I will break both of your legs if none of this works out. As Robert Stone pretty much liked what he saw, he pretty much shook hands with Mercedes Martinez and said, "Welcome to the Robert Stone brand." So Mercedes Martinez being part of this whole thing, okay, let's see where this goes. Now, like I said, Robbie E has been proven to be a comedy guy on this show every week, or chicken shit heel manager, if you want to say, but I guess between him, her, and Mercedes there, we'll see what happens. So at least they found something for Mercedes to go with. Hopefully it's better than what they had with Chelsea Green. So, and so, like I said, it's better than Chelsea Green's. Hopefully it's better. Look at me, I'm repeating my words here again. Hopefully it's better than what they did with Chelsea Green, and now we got Mercedes Martinez into this, so this could be good, real good. Like I said, Mercedes Martinez is really that great, so I think this can work out really well. I think it can. So we'll see what happens with if this works out really well in that Mercedes Martinez. But good shit. I liked it. Next, they went to a Finn Balor promo, talk about how Keith Lee is handing out opportunities and whatnot. And talk about that Keith Lee gave up the title because he wasn't man enough to face Balor. But Balor says, I don't like to take charity. But he talked about his opponents next week, which is going to be Dexter Lumis and Timothy Thatcher. And says that their push is going to hit a ceiling. That these guys are just going to lose. And that when he gets that North American Championship, that title will get the Finn Balor rub. Okay, you get it? Rub? Yeah, I think we all know what that means. But yeah, you're going to get the rub. All right? But like I said, other than the promo from Balor right there, we then gone into the main event itself. Killer Kross, Karrion Kross. I'm trying not to say killer nowadays. Versus Donovan Dijak right there. Once again, this was great. Real great. Now I saw a lot of argument online. If Kross sold too much, I wouldn't say so. He didn't sell that much, and him and Dijak are somewhere on the same size. So, yeah, I don't think he sold that much. Like I said, I've seen an argument with that tonight, but this was a very good match. I think people were talking more about the ending to this. Like I said, Kross just looks deadly at the time, especially if he hits that freaking Doomsday Saito on you, which is just insane. Even Kross punching the damn plexiglass looked kind of deadly, and he missed. Dijak was getting, like I said, getting the upper hand on him throughout this match, trying to hit him with the Feast Your Eyes, but it did not work out. Dijak ended up pretty much flew out of the ring, landing onto Kross then. Like I say, he's still holding his neck after one of those Saito suplexes and whatnot. But when Dijak was about to throw Kross into the steel steps, Kross ended up reversing the Irish whip, throwing him in there. And I guess Kross had Dijak stuck into the steel steps. And when he had him stuck in there and the ref told him to stop, he pretty much went to the steel steps, kicked the steel steps into Dijak, damn near killing this guy. And as the referee counted, Kross went back out there and picked up Dijak, threw him in the ring, and starts hitting him with several elbows. Keith Lee comes out, wanting to stop the whole thing. And Dijak's like, don't do it. I chose this. Don't do it, Lee. Don't do it. And Kross is just basically damn near murdering this guy out here. Straight up murder. Just elbow, just murdering him. And you just see Dijak trying to tell Lee, like, don't do this. I'm trying. I can do this. I chose this. As Keith Lee just looked on, wanting to help Dijak, but he could not do it. And pretty much Kross told him to look at it, until he picked up Dijak, putting him into the cross jacket, choking him out until he faded away. Referee called for the bell. Lee finally got back in, and Kross pretty much got out of dodge with Scarlett then, leaving Dijak basically dead in the ring right there. Number one, a very good match between both Kross and Dijak, but I think, like I said before, people are talking about more of the end and how this guy damn near murdered him out there. The minute he had him in them steel steps and kicked it, it was over, and just these elbows, just straight up killing this dude out here. Just straight up killing him. Kross just, I'm sure, amazes people every week on this show to what he does and whatnot. Probably one of the hottest things on NXT right now. But he just straight up murdered Dijak. And Dijak is just trying to crawl and ask for help from Lee, but it did not work, as Lee just had to watch on until he got in. So we know their match is coming to TakeOver. I'm going to assume that with Keith Lee and Kross right there. Really looking forward to that match. But that the ending was definitely insane. NXT, once again, was really good tonight. Like I said, I think the second half hour of the show was really good between the triple threat match, Thatcher and Lorcan, and Kross and Dijak. Great shit in the last hour of NXT. First hour was just kind of whatever. Like I said, we do have the announcement of this ladder match coming in at TakeOver from Regal with, Keith Lee giving up the North American Championship. Everything else on the show, from, like I said, Shotzi Blackheart and Leo was whatever, but I think people are talking more about Mercedes Martinez now teaming with Robert Stone and whatnot. Dane and Loomis was pretty good too, and the Brazongo thing was basically forgettable if you want to see mountie strippers and whatnot. That's all I can say. But another good episode from NXT. Like I said, the second hour did really more, if I should say, with some better matches. So that's what you want to watch out for if you're watching NXT and whatnot. That's the matches I would check out in the second half hour of the show. You're going to see some real good shit from there. But other than that, though, another good episode of NXT tonight. Comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about the show in general. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. Check out any other past review that is online right now from Raw and, from this weekend with Slammiversary and Extreme Rules. And check out my Impact review that's online right now also. But other than that, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace. It's me, HOOD, coming into news and reviews. No, I am, no, I do. Check it, cross the I, and dot the T. We're done with this review of NXT. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace.